when we look back how the bank was about 4 years back, and really we have transformed and turned around. And what you were asking is how it happened. We took stock of the situation as to what, where, and when it went wrong. And then we had a detailed turnaround strategy, which was drawn at December 20 or so. That is the end of Q3 of 2021. We drew a turnaround strategy. And we identified the strength of the bank, the opportunities available, and the weakness also. When I say all these things, when we did a SWOT analysis, then we decided to shift our business model, to reposition our business model. We repositioned our lending, particularly from the corporate to the retail lending. Considering the strength of the bank, its network. It has a network of more than 1,500 branches across the country, and most of the branches are situated either in the rural, semi-urban, or urban areas, more relatively than the metropolitan centers. The strength of the employees are well tuned to mobilize, handle the retail segments better. So what is today required is that reaching the last mile. Reaching the last mile, we have the network advantage, I have the employee advantage. So we decided that we will shift the focus, and accordingly we shifted. However, the journey was not very this one. There were a lot of challenges, particularly the last year, that was full of challenges with the pandemic. There were lockdowns across the country or in the specified states. Despite the fact, the bank employees were able to give the excellent services, and we were able to reach out. Accordingly, as we decided, our retail lending growth had a growth of around 11%, 10.5 or something. And correspondingly, we also reduced the corporate to a little extent. So the overall loan book growth is little less, mainly because the corporate book we have brought down consciously. So that is how it is. That has yielded the results. It has reduced my concentration risk. As a banker, that I should look into the concentration risk. If my big ticket one loan goes bad, then it pinches me a lot. So This is what the secret.
Okay, so lots of things to talk about there. Just on the corporate side, and I'm not sure if you're able to really give any updates, but on the talking about one loan going bad, on the Sri case, for instance, has there been any further development?
No, Sri case is in the NCLT. The administrator has been appointed. The resolution process is going on one side. As far as our bank is concerned, we have fully provided. So I am fully protected on that. The resolution process is taking place. So the resolution will be seen in the months to come.
Okay. And NPAs have actually come down if I take a look at your numbers now. So you're obviously tightening things going forward. Are there any, major, roadblocks, red flags that you see on the corporate side, any major accounts on that front that you're still concerned about?
No, I don't have any such big corporate accounts which are in the red flag zone. In fact, in the banking, we call it as SMA2. The SMA2 total itself is around 266 crores or something. And I don't have any big corporate in that.
Okay. On the retail front, and where you're talking about growth, and we've already seen that pick up in lending, give us a sense of the outlook, the kind of projections you're looking at, the kind of speed of growth that you anticipate over the next year.
Yeah, I expect my overall credit loan book to grow around 8 to 10% during 22-23. And in that, the major chunk will be the retail. Now, for retail, what we have done is we have segregated the sourcing and underwriting separately. It gives me a twin advantage. One, the sourcing group can concentrate on getting the lead and source it. And they are not they are the people who are in direct contact. The underwriting has been segregated. The underwriting group doesn't have that pressure. They can have a quality underwriting. So this gives me advantage. So I have divided the group. A separate group is there for sourcing. The marketing team has been strengthened. A lead management solution, a software-driven solution has been put in place, which has started very recently. That will give a lot of fruits to me in this year.
Sure. And in terms of the changing rate scenario, Mr. Krishna, I'd love to get your thoughts on how this will impact, the market going forward as a bank in terms of deposit rates. Of course, we've already started to see banks hike rates, but in terms of lending, are you anticipating a pinch? Will it be on the corporate side, retail? How do you see the scenario evolving?
See, when the rates are going up or hardening, and naturally there will be a tight money situation. When the tight money situation comes, you can look into when you ask as the deposit advances, you may have seen that the bankers have increased both the deposit rate and also the lending rate. Both goes up. Now, those who are having the deposits, they feel that in the interest rate rising scenario, it is good for them. Those who are the depositors. Those who are the borrowers, they feel that it pinches. But there is a trade-off between the two. So I don't think that it will be impacting the entire industry as a whole to a greater extent.
And among retail, Mr. Krishnan, since this really seems to be the exciting area for you, are there specific segments, regions, how would you divide or assess really what's working within that very large basket?
See, when I say retail segment, there's three major segments. We call it as a RAM segment. That is the retail, agriculture, and MSME. Within the retail, my focus will be on the home loans. There are huge potentials available today in the country. If you look into, there are a number of HFC, housing finance companies. They are able to get the business. Why? They are able to tap the last mile. So I am leveraging my network. And now the technology has been geared up in my bank to such a way that I can also compete with those of the people. So we have digitalized a lot of the operations. So our focus will be on tapping the potentials available at the last mile on the home loan front and other retail business. MSME, again, we have a good strength. We have a large number of customers, but the MSME naturally has certain risk in a sense. They are the people who will be affected even with a small changes like you asked as the rate and other things or the pandemic. What is required is a close monitoring and close association in the sense, have a look on their activities very closely, help them wherever required, and definitely the MSMEs ought to be given a hand-holding to pull them up, which the Punjab Sind Bank is known for doing it.
Absolutely. You mentioned home loans, and I'm curious because, we'd started to see an uptick in the market. Do you expect that to continue, or do you feel that we're heading in for a stall given the current environment?
No, there will be uptick in the market. I am able to see the demands for the real estate. There will be definitely uptick in the year 22-23. I am seeing good potential for the home loan.
Okay. And I'm not sure if you give guidance, Mr. Krishnan, but going forward, next couple of quarters, anything you'd like to share with us in terms of projected growth numbers, perhaps, even particularly on the retail side, you mentioned it's already quite a big contributor, but overall?
No, overall, I have given you a sense that my loan book will grow around 8 to 10%.
Yeah.
And we are working out on the minor aspects as to which are the heads, how it will grow and other things. We will be taking to the board very shortly because yesterday only we concluded the results for the last one. And we will be having a business plan conference and then take to the board. And very shortly, we will be coming out with detailed estimates to the street. At that time, I'll be more than happy to share with you.
Okay. One more question, Mr. Krishnan. When you're talking about retail MSME loans, and slightly different buckets, but is there a certain corpus of loan that is a certain bracket that you're seeing maximum traction in terms of the amount? Is there a certain bracket, like let's say loans, of the size of X amount that are actually seeing the highest traction?
No, if you call it the amount, what happens is it goes with the geographical presence, particularly when you ask about the home loan. If I take a metropolitan center, the amount that will be around 50 lakhs to 1 crore. Will be a loan ticket size where I have more demand. And it slightly goes down when I go to a tier 2 or tier 3 cities. So that is how it goes. So any home loan amount more than 1 crore, the numbers are less. So the good demand is there in this bucket.
All right. Fantastic. Mr. Krishnan, thank you so much. Pleasure chatting with you today.
Thank you.
All right.